All right. Good evening, everybody. It's that time again. Happy to see you guys. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Tremaine Wills. I am a financial planner and investment advisor. I own a company called Mind Over Money, where we are on a mission to help 1 million households grow their invested assets to $1 million or more. We do that through creating comprehensive financial plans, giving investment advice, and teaching and promoting financial literacy through trainings like this. And so I'm super excited to be with you today. You are tuned into a segment called Questions That Need Answers, where I answer a personal finance question. And so today's topic is, do I need a financial plan? So that's the question I'm going to be answering today. If you know anybody who could benefit from this session, feel free to share this stream with them. You can follow me at Tremaine Wills on every single platform. So if you're not already connected with me, you can tap that link to follow. And if you want to be reminded or notified of when I go live so that you can be here to engage real time, make sure the notifications are on, right? If you'd like to stay abreast of how we are helping households grow their invested assets to $1 million or more, you can follow the journey at 1 Trillion Tribe as we are helping households grow their invested assets to $1 million or more. So, y'all ready to get to it? Not yet. I always have to ask, where are we tuned in from? So, with the amazing benefit of the internet, we can reach across the globe. So I always like to ask, where are folks tuned in from, especially if this is your first time catching the stream, or if you are watching the replay. Let us know where you are tuning in from. Um, okay, Portsmouth, Virginia, tuned in. Thanks for tuning in. It's always great to see folks who are from Virginia tuned in. That's where the company is based. So we are a US based company and we serve clients across the country. So it's always good to see folks that are tuned in from Virginia. We got Charlotte, North Carolina. Thanks for tuning in. Um, happy to see you. Happy to see you. Thanks for tuning in. All right. So now that we've had some folks share where they are catching the stream or catching the replay from, let's dive into today's topic. Oh, one more thing. If you would like to dive a little bit deeper, learn more about how you can start to build your own financial plan, I have a workshop coming up. You can comment workshop to register for free. I do a lot of teaching, as you guys can tell, right? I'm always on here. And so if you like the way that I teach and you want somebody to kind of walk you through next steps, comment workshop, and you'll get a link from me to register for that free live workshop. Okay. So, all right. So let's dive in. We are answering the question, do I need a financial plan? Now, before I answer that, I want to give you a definition, right? What is a financial plan? Because I think sometimes we have this like misinterpretation of what it is, and we might think like it's this big grandiose thing that only wealthy people need. And the reality is, a financial plan is just a document that identifies what our financial goals are and the strategies we're going to use to get there, right? So it can be, a 1-page thing, it could be a 500-page thing, right? But ultimately, at the end of the day, its purpose is to make sure that you have a roadmap for how you're going to reach the financial goals you have, and the metrics you're going to use to get there, right? How are you going to track to see that you're reaching those goals? So a financial plan is not just for folks who are already wealthy. It's also for those of us who want to build wealth, maintain it, and want to reach any kind of financial goals, right? So I jumped ahead today, but yes, you need a financial plan. The level of detail is going to be determined by the kinds of goals that you have and the kind of plan that you want to create. So let's dive into this. I want to give you some statistics. 72% of households do not have a written financial plan. Is that a statistic that's surprising? at you. As somebody who works in this space, right, and I write financial plans all the time. So it's always great to help people get like their goals written out, have them to see like where they are on the journey. I'm still always surprised by how many people don't have anything written down. And that's 72% of households. Now, on the flip side of that, 83% of people who set financial goals feel better about their finances after just 1 year. Can you believe that? Right? So, like, almost 3/4 of us don't have our financial goals written out, but over 80% of people who write down their goals feel better about their finances after just 1 year. So I can stop here, right? And the key thing to know is that like taking the first step of just writing your goals down so that you have something to go after can help you feel better about your finances as little as 1 year from now, right? This doesn't have to be something that you can celebrate or you have to wait to celebrate to see some fruit. Um, years and years and years into the future. So, one of the very first takeaways you can have from today is write those goals down, right? We need to have financial goals, things that we're going after. All right. So, those are the two statistics. Now, some of the consequences that could happen if you don't have a financial plan, right? Some of us might be feeling some of this, right? We have an increased likelihood to not hit our savings goals. Because if you don't know where your money's going, and you don't have a plan for it, no strategy, it's challenging to be able to reach any particular goals. So you have increased likelihood for not hitting your savings goals. You have an increased likelihood of falling into debt, right? Because if we're not tracking where our money's going, then we're likely over swiping that credit card. And there is not as much probability of us reaching goals because we don't even have them written down. So, one of the things that we can do to combat this is to start to put together some sort of financial strategy, right? Now, of course, financial plans are incredibly individualized. So, there's no way that I can say everybody needs to have this goal, that goal, that goal, right? That would be unwise for me to even try to attempt to do that. But what I can do is tell you some core things that you need to think about so that you can start to put together a basic strategy for yourself, right? And so I'm going to give you 5 things. The first is that you want to have financial goals. What are the things that you are going to go after in your finances? The second thing that you'll need is you want to have some sort of budget. How are you going to dictate how the money is moving on a day-to-day basis, right? Month in and month out, what is it that your money is doing to help you reach the goals that you set? Right? The next one is you need to have some sort of debt payoff plan. So if you have debt, what is your strategy of making it go away, right? Outside of us thinking like student loans are going to go with us to the grave, they don't have to, right? What is your strategy to get rid of your debt? So that's number 3. The next piece, part 4, is you need to have some sort of investment and retirement strategy. How much money do you need to invest so that you can reach the long-term goals that you have? What are the types of returns you need to see? Now, for many people, that's the part that can seem to be a little bit tricky because you may not know how to do the math, but there's a ton of different calculators you can use for free if you get on Google to help you with that, right? That doesn't have to be a hurdle. And then the last piece is identifying what are the things you're going to put in place to help mitigate your risk. So, how are you going to insure yourself in the various areas so that you can protect your property and the assets that you have, right? So, those are the 5 pieces. Those are the 5 things that you can start with to put together just a basic financial plan for yourself so that you have something that you're going after. If you start to put together a strategy and you have those 5 areas that you're looking at a year from now, it is highly probable that you'll start to feel better about your finances if you start sticking to that strategy you put in place. So, those 5 things were you need to have some goals, you got to have a budget, debt payoff plan if you have any debt, investing strategy, and then what are you doing for insurance? All right. So if you enjoyed that and you want to dive a little bit deeper with how you can start to put together a strategy for yourself specifically around paying off debt and starting to look into what it might mean to invest, comment workshop. You can join me at my next live workshop where we're going to walk through this. I'll be teaching you a little bit more and giving you practical steps you can take that will be more related to what you need to do individually. All right. So comment workshop, you can get into that session for free. You'll get a message from me. I'm going to stay on for a little bit. So if you have questions, you can comment and I'll answer them as I see them pop up. But I also want to make sure that you know how to stay connected, right? So I answer questions like this every single day. Well, every single weekday, right? Monday through Friday, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. And so if you're not already following or have those notifications on, make sure you do that so you can be tuned in. But also feel free to share this stream, right? So if you know anybody else who might have been thinking like, hey, financial plan just seems like it's so much, right? It doesn't have to be this whole big thing, right? It can be a basic, just 5 things that you focus on for your finances to put yourself in a better position, right? Feel free to share them so that you can get folks around you on board with taking a better look at their finances so that your circle starts to level up with you, right? Because we don't want to go through this by ourselves. We're on this journey to improve our finances, and then the people who are around us are seeing us go through these changes and they're not coming along for the ride. So share that. If you have questions that you'd like me to answer on the next question that need answers section, you can send me a DM with what that question is, and I am happy to answer it. All right. So again, if we're not already connected, if you're not already following me, that's at Tremaine Wells on every single platform. You can stay connected with the 1 Trillion Tribe. Just is written just how it sounds, right? We're on a mission to help 1 million households grow their invested assets to $1 million or more, right? And if you want to join us, comment workshop, and you can register for our upcoming workshop for free. All right, everybody. So it has been amazing to be with you today. If you missed this live, you can catch the replay on the platform that you're watching it on, or you can tune in tomorrow for the next session, questions that need answers. This was awesome, guys. I will see you tomorrow.